that letter is quoted a lot because while we are a nation that appreciates there's going to be differences in how you try to discern the presence of God, and much less what gives rise to appropriate public policies, that there's not going to be, under his watch, this kind of divisiveness or a special support given to one denomination over another. And let's face it, there are many countries on the planet today where that happens. We are truly unique in this country. And Jefferson saw that as a blessing that came forth through that divine and inspired set of founding documents we have, that hopefully continues today. So I agree with Chris, and I remember, I think when there was a person who was quoting scripture before the board, not in a unifying way, but in a very divisive way, and I think it was intentional. I don't think this person was trying to be ecumenical by quoting scripture, and I'm not sure that was a correct use of scripture being quoted in the public arena.
Yeah. Right, well, we have 5 minutes left, and I have other questions, but we'll forgo them and just give the time to you to say what else you want to say. Each of you wants to just take a couple of minutes and maybe take a breath and think about everything we've covered. Your thoughts have been remarkable. I think for me, the entire experience has been really great. I guess I can, this won't be a question, just in case I'm throwing it out to you with nothing, I'll give you something. You know, we did see trends mentioned that we may not have been aware of. The trend towards disaffiliation, which is quite recent according to the graph, right? Like peaked in 1990, that wasn't a long time ago. So, you know, with that in mind, but anything you want to say just in the last couple minutes?
Let me touch on a few comments that were made. First, I think the very first speaker talked about the concept of truth. Is that a black or white thing, or the gray areas? Is there relative truth that or this is an absolute, the switches on, the switches off kind of thing? I think the wonderful lady from the Sikh denomination mentioned that in her faith tradition, truth is paramount. And I'm thinking that since we believe that morality is a good thing, and morality gives rise to sound public policies, one element of morality is telling the truth and being truthful to what you say. And I worry about public policy where we think the truth is shaded, that there are different degrees of truth.
Or for grabs, like we can.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but I think the truth is kind of like a glue that holds together our public policy. If there's not honesty applied and real truth put in our public policies, that's a problem. And that's why I think of myself as pretty tolerant, but one thing that I am completely intolerant of is that any public official that tells me something that's not true. That is a disqualifying act for me. It's like you're DQ'd from the wrestling tournament for doing a legal hold. If you lie and you know it's a lie, you're DQ'd. You'll never earn my vote. So I will mention that since we're talking about morality, the importance of religious in society, policy making, or whatever. I think we have to appreciate that the truth must be treated as an absolute and must be demanded by our citizenry.
Okay, thank you. So actually, there's a lot, but you said I only have 1 minute. So
I didn't say 1 minute. I said it's your last chance.
Okay, so I can think too.
Go ahead.
Great. Along with truth and love, right? There is a need for courageous conversations, right? Like what we're having here is kind of one way, but at the end of the day, we need to. When I say courageous conversation, it's not meeting someone in the grocery store and they say, "I'm mayor, by mayor." It's sitting with someone and understanding from a truthful perspective what's going on in that individual's life or what they're concerned with about your leadership within a town, right? A lot of us stay away from these courageous conversations because we don't like confrontation. But these courageous conversation gets to the heart of things, and that's how, sometimes it's hard, but that's how we put it all on the table, and then we get to solutions. And one thing I'll mention again, and I started with truth without love, right? There's a saying that's, there's no decency in that, truth without love, because it's brutality. You just hard truth. John and the brother James was hard truth, right? And so you need to also embrace love, but not the kind of summer of love with everyone doping up and loving each other. We are talking about love that will get things into action and execute on things, right? So you need to balance the two of that. So net, courageous conversation, be bold and have the conversation, but dose it with truth and love.
And we're past time, so I'm just going to say, it has been a joy. It has been a joy to be part of this. It has been my joy for many, many years to have been able to work with former Delegate Minshew, who was always, regardless of party, such a strong advocate for the truth he talked about and the best interests of the county. And Kwesi and I got to know each other a number of years ago, and I have always enjoyed working with him. And thank you all very, very much for coming out and for staying. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Matthew Peterson, Randy Minshew, Kwesi Frazier, and Kristen Umstadt for that great panel discussion wrapping us up. So we're going to end now. We hope that we all sort of have developed a stronger framework of how religion is indispensable, both on a national level, but also on a very local Loudoun County level. America's Quilt of Faith echoes the founding generation's belief that they are necessary, and we have, we're in a very interesting time regarding religion in the United States, and it's good for us to be engaged with that and to work with that. And so thank you for coming. We hope you've enjoyed it. Lunch is downstairs. If you didn't get to order it or let AQF know what you wanted, there's extra, so please go downstairs. Again, you can have it and eat there, or you can take it and go. So one last round of applause for our panel and any clergy and Dee and Kayla. Thank you. We're adjourned.
See you.